Hello, my name is Jonathan, and today I would like to talk to you about flow arts. For those of you who never heard of the term flow arts, I would like to give a definition of the Flow Arts Institute. In their opinion, flow arts describe the intersection of movement-based disciplines such as dance, juggling, fire spinning, and prop manipulation. In general, flow arts are growing all the time. They're taking influences of a variety of other disciplines and thus creating new movements and new possibilities. While performing flow arts, the artists can completely lose themselves in their art or in their prop, or in other words, they enter the flow state. But what is the flow state? So, according to Michael Pollan, the flow state is a state that depends for its effect on losing oneself in the moment, usually training a powerful, depthless concentration on one big thing. It can also be described as a kind of transcendence, so a mental state of complete and utter absorption, well known to artists, athletes, but also soldiers in a battle, people who pray, and meditators. When entering the flow state, you are completely focused on one thing, and you lose yourself in the moment, and you simultaneously abandon all worry and regret. When entering the flow state, you also experience an altered state of consciousness that also brings some changes in your brain with it. So, for example, the brain doesn't produce stress chemicals such as cortisol, but it more produces chemicals such as endorphins, serotonins, and dopamines. So, pleasure-inducing chemicals. Today's example of flow arts discipline is poi. Those are these props. They originally come from New Zealand. They are a big part of New Zealand and Maori culture. The word poi in itself has the meaning basically of a ball on a cord. And the indigenous people of New Zealand mainly used it to increase flexibility and strength in their hands, as well as improving coordination. Today, there are mainly women dancers who perform the Maori poi, which is a dance performed with balls attached to flex strings that are swung rhythmically. And the men today mainly, so the Maori men today mainly use it for strength and flexibility, and sometimes even as a weapon. In the Maori language, the word poi can also mean the physical object that is manipulated, the choreography, or the accompanying music. There are, in Maori culture, there are two types of poi. On the one hand, the short poi, where the tether is the distance from your fingertips to your wrist. Or the long poi, where the tether is the distance from your fingertips all the way to your shoulder. Today, as I said before, there are mainly women performers, and a poi performance nowadays includes storytelling and singing in conjunction with a choreographed poi routine. It is also often presented alongside other disciplines, other cultural and traditional disciplines such as the Haka dance, which some of you might know. And traditionally, the Maori poi were made from harakeke, which is a New Zealand flax bush. But today they are also made from foam, from crumpled paper, from plastic, and from wool. As I said before, poi is a big part of Maori culture. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of information to be found on the internet, since the Maori culture is a culture that is orally transmitted. So there are not a lot of written down sources that you can find somewhere. So now you know where poi originally derived from, but it's not limited to New Zealand and Maori culture. Although originally it came from New Zealand, in the early 2000s, some artists took poi and added the element of fire to it. Although nobody really seems to know who really invented the fire poi. But yeah, since then, since the fire poi, poi really is a new discipline, or it became a new discipline. And it was originally inspired a lot from Maori culture and Maori poi dance. As there became more influences from other disciplines, the discipline really changed a lot. So people created new moves while taking influences from other disciplines such as juggling, such as club swinging, dance, and also rhythmic gymnastics. Since fire poi can bear some risks as well, either being like environmental risks or even health risks. Over time, people also turned away a little bit from fire poi because of those risks, and they used poi such as flag poi, which have a little cloth on the end to make it a little bit more visually appealing, but also LED poi and just regular standard plastic poi. And they did it because they still wanted to express the beauty of poi without taking the risk for the environment or for your own health. But still, the name poi stuck. And this new version of poi is appealing to people who are looking for a dynamic and engaging physical activity that is less intense than martial arts or competitive sports. Although you can still go in that direction, since every poi spinner has their own unique style, and you can basically go in whatever direction you want to. Furthermore, the internet nowadays plays a big role in the discipline poi, since there are a lot of people who share new ideas, new tricks, new concepts, and also upload tutorials and online classes where everybody, wherever they are, can learn the prop and keep progressing.
Hi, I'm Drex, and this is Introduction to Poi Spinning. Today we're going to be talking about planes, one of the most fundamental concepts in all of poi spinning. You can think of planes as being broad, flat surfaces, like a sheet of paper or a notebook. When we talk about it in relation to poi, however, it's usually more of an implied concept.
All right. Since I established that poi and flow arts in general is something really subjective to the individual spinner or the individual artist, in the next part of this documentary, we asked some people from the scene, some artists, what flow arts mean to them, what aspects of interculturality they can recognize in their prop or in the scene in general. And without further ado, we will just jump right into the interviews.
My name is Susanne.
I'm Sebastian.
My name is Fenja.
My name is Toby.
I'm Andreas.
I'm Sven.
My name is Oliver.
What is your prop?
I'm a sticks person,
Uh-huh.
so I love all the props and I play them all. But I think my most favorite is the dragon stuff, but also the double staff, devil stick, fans, everything. And if I find a new prop, give me any prop, and I'm super excited to give it a try.
My prop is the dragon staff, and since a while now also the rope dart.
Ooh, several. I started with simply juggling balls, and then I went over to poi, and then I started with double staffs, and then I started with the hula hoop, and then there was the contact staff, one long staff.
My prop, originally I started with playing Diabolo, and through the years I got more into my repertoire and I'm juggling boards as well, and I started spinning poi and especially juggling poi.
My main prop is a dragon staff, but from time to time I try something different, like root poi or spinning staff, contact staffs, rope dart.
What does flow arts mean to you?
Bro, now that's depends how much time I have, but flow arts means to me almost everything in terms of finding first a hobby and then a passion, then maybe an obsession even, because it takes quite a big part in my life, like from philosophizing about it, or doing shows, or teaching and coaching other people.
To me it means self-expression, has a connection with dance, and it always helps me to calm down and also to express myself.
There are three words that can describe it very well. That is concentration, meditation and inspiration.
Well, it's a form of creative output, and also just you know you had a stressful day, you go into the park, you play a lot, you meet some nice people, and that's it.
I was involved in many physical activities or other activities, so I know the flow state before from martial arts, from dancing, from even running, rock climbing, swimming, or sex. So it's just a different way to get it.
It can calm me down and it can get me excited. It's just a huge part of my life, and no matter where I am in my life, what experiences I do, juggling and flow arts was always there with it. So I identify with it a lot, and yeah, can help me through bad times and through good times, everything.
What has flow arts taught you about learning in life in general?
Patience. A lot of patience. The learning curve is much more flatter than maybe in dancing or martial arts.
It's for me it's a slow way to learn, but to come down and get to the basics. It's a really stressless form of learning for me.
Every person is able to do everything. If you simply train enough and practice enough, then you can do nearly everything.
Learning can be such fun, and the pleasure of accomplishing goals you set yourself can be so huge. When I was I had so many things I was working towards, and it can be exhausting and frustrating a lot of time practicing things that are really difficult, but pushing through it and getting to accomplish it, and then getting the feedback when you did good, and when you can show other people and other people enjoy, and then brings you together, and all that stuff makes it so nice, so that every struggle you have with it just fades away in the moments you have those accomplishments.
To be spontaneous, to adapt to new situations, to embrace creative output.
Oh, everything is a game. Adults can still be children, and you can learn new things by seeing it in a really playful way. And it has changed my life, as I mentioned before, that during this time of the PhD, we had to find like an easy way how to get out of it. So it was also by that creating really strong friendships, because this was like living with my friends together and just trying to flow every day, and then integrating the element of fire in addition, which was a really powerful way of learning, getting confidence, and also having the capacity to go the next day again back to university and PhDing around and trying to do like nerdy stuff.
Is what influences of other cultures can you recognize in your prop?
There are a lot of cultures you can see. There's New Zealand Maori and Poi. There's a lot of martial arts stuff. I also do martial arts since 30 years. So that was the opener for my way to spinning.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see all around the world. There are also bullwhips from US or something else. I think every culture has a special way of expression and spinning.
Some say the origins of the dragon staffs is the fascia, the Chinese trident.
The difference to the martial art part from all kind of like cultures where everybody's bringing like the influence with, also like with the Maori, it's like playing the poi. It's more about taking the hard discipline out in order to see more of a playful approach. So you cannot do anything wrong, and you can just play and feel free.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you a lot of about Diablo, and Diablo is quite interesting in that regard because the prop itself originated from China and was traditional a group thing where a lot of people did something together, which was in the Chinese culture something the thing of getting people together to perform in unison and doing something together was like the activity where it originated from. I think about in like the Renaissance times it got over to Europe, and people just started playing Diablo for themselves as like a skill play. They were just playing Diablo. That's the thing. I don't juggle Diablos. I play Diablo, so you could consider it a game. One fun thing or one fun story I might share is that in the last couple of years, when Diablo got popular and developed, had a huge development in like what was possible and that stuff. It originated from China with a very traditional point of view towards the Diablo. And when the European juggling scene adopted Diablo as kind of circus or art form, they made it a creative thing. Where you like create new things and you do it like an art form. And that again got back to China. So in China, where it wasn't an individual thing, they saw us Europeans do it and thought like that's a cool way to do it. And so they started doing the creative thing like the Europeans did. And we originally took it from them. So it was like changing the ideas what this is about. And nowadays it developed so much because of that exchange, I think.
Yeah,
and, that's a super cool thing because I wouldn't have anything to do with Chinese culture, like if it wasn't for me playing Diablo for some weird reasons.
Okay. The one thing playing flow toys, of course, is a fusion of all these things which influence the scene at all.
What intercultural experiences have you made within the scene?
Many beautiful.
I have been to New Zealand, so I met a lot of Kiwi spinners. That was a very intense experience because I lived with some of them. It was awesome. And also when I go to conventions, I meet other cultures, people from Australia, people from Taiwan. I was in the makeup team and I had to do the makeup for a Taiwan guy. I remember that. And yeah, there's a lot of people we can meet. And it's always very interesting.
So working with people from all over the world, you meet just an hour before and doing something very great and it works is very interesting experience. On the other hand, if you travel yourself and you travel to the world, you look out for fire spinners, or fire spinners sometimes look out for you because I have a big tool, so it's easy, can easily be seen just walking down the street. You have immediately a point of contact. You have immediately see, okay, these are freaks of my kind, and let's try it.
I came to the flow toys not by, or let's say not only by knowing people who are juggling. My interest in playing with fire, especially in playing poi, came from the Goa scene. So I was taking part in Goa parties, Goa festivals around Europe, and even in one of my first festivals, which started in 2001, I saw people playing with fire and dancing, and this was, whoa, when I am old, I have to do this too, or I would like to do this too. And so in the end, I came to this, to playing poi because I saw it on a music festival.
And also with traveling a lot, like wherever I went, it was immediately connecting me with people. I went once for like a big conference in Canada, and I was just like fed up with all the other geologists. So I just wanted to flow with people. So I was looking online, and within 2 hours I was meeting with like a local group, playing fire, and just even having always like friends in common all over the world. Or even like after I quit my job with university, so I quit it and said, okay, I want to do it professionally. So 10 days after I have sent my letter of resignation to my professor in university, I was standing on stage in Cape Town in South Africa. So I met my girlfriend at the time on a festival, and she said, hey, I come to South Africa and you need performers. And then I was living and working there in South Africa, and learning a lot by being integrated there a little bit with the Waldorf school, which was like even taking kids from the townships and like the rich kids from the cities. And we've been just teaching them a little bit of simple like juggling and simple flow, and just seeing that this was taking boundaries, not just in a intercultural way or international way, also like connecting people from all over, and boundaries do not exist anymore. So I think this is the important point of this.
Yeah. In what way do you think that getting together and flowing supports intercultural learning and understanding?
It's I think the basic the core of this question is that spinning is our own language. So you can say every culture don't need their own languages. They have one combining language. That's the spinning. I think that's the core of it.
No matter where you come from, no matter how you look and how you talk or what language you talk, you can enjoy the same thing.
At first, it's the playing together. It's different than working together because you do something, you have fun, so it's easier to get in with. On the other hand, it's like any physical activity. If you have language barriers, you can simply show or simply look, so it's easier to play together without even speaking the same language, to just perform physical or communicate physical.
Well, understanding in a way that we can understand each other non-verbally, and it's just about the flow itself, and by getting together you can always improve intercultural relationships, definitely.
Just get together on this very basic thing, like I see some objects flying through the air, and someone else does it as well, and we connect over that. We don't need anything more than that. And that's like the beauty of the whole thing. It's so simple, just throwing stuff, catching stuff, and you connect with people, nothing more.
When you think of gatherings, conventions, then you do have all these people, all these different kind of people coming together with such different kind of background. It's great. When you walk through a convention, you cannot have no intercultural experience. You always do have it, if you want to or not. And that's what I like and love about all these flowing stuff.
As you can see, flow arts, while having a unique meaning to individuals, is an art form that can teach you a lot, and that in a very playful way. It can teach you about yourself and life, how to be patient, how to believe in yourself, how to accomplish something great, how to have fun learning something new, as well as how to get in contact with other people and other cultures. While many props have their origins in foreign cultures, flow arts constantly support intercultural exchange and intercultural learning. On the one hand, by bringing people from all over the world together, on the other hand, by providing them an own language, a way to communicate and to learn from each other.